Hi everyone, hope you're having a good day. This is the tutorial on how to edit red and white theme PowerPoint presentation. So without wasting any time, let's get started. First things first, if you want to change this logo, all you have to do is go to View, go to Slide Master, scroll all the way to the top, go to the big slide. So let's say now I have this pattern over here. All you have to do is just click on it, delete it. For now, I'm just going to use a stock image. Or you know what? Let's take a stock icon. So for now, I'm going to use this as my icon. I'm sorry, as my logo. So let's just go bring that over here, drag it, and let's just go give it a little bit of white. There you go. So now what has to happen is now I go back to view and I go back to slide master and I just close this master view. So now this icon, which is our logo, should be there in all slides. There you go. So that's how you add your company logo or any image that you want on each slide. Right, so I'm just going to go back. I'm going to do Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I'm just going to keep my original design for now. Quickly going on to slide number. So just to finish up with slide number 1, presentation, by whom, and this is if you want to add any other text, right? Presentation 2 is a variation of presentation 1. Only thing is this image covers the whole of the sideband. You can readjust it the way you want. This is also the text is also smaller, so you can add in longer titles, and that's pretty much it. Presentation 3 is the same as presentation 2. It just has a little bit of graphic. So going to slide number 4. So as you see, this is about the presenter. It's either about the presenter or about your company or about the subject that you're talking about. So in this case, I've added a temporary image. What you can do is, so if you get the slide without any image, what I've done is I've added placeholders. So now there are 3 ways to add an image, right? So the first 2 ways is from your computer's desktop. That is, if you have a specific image that you want to add, all you can do is click here, go to desktop, and I have a picture here. It's called nature resize, and then go insert. Alternatively, if I want, let's say I don't have a picture here, I can just make the screen smaller. I have my image here, drag and drop, right? So that's one more way to put it. If you want to add something from stock, just click here, right click, change picture from stock images, and then let's say add this, right? Also, if you have a picture here already, change right click, change picture from this device, which means this computer, or from stock images, or you can also add an icon if you want. So that's how this works. So slide number 5 is the same. All you have to do is, if you want to change a picture from this device or from stock images. So let's just do stock images. Let's just add some image. Let's say we'll add this clock, and there you go. So let's say if there's no image here, what I've done is I've already put a placeholder. All you have to do is drag, drop, and that's about it. You can click here and also center align if that suits you. I just keep it less left aligned for now. Slide number 6, same thing, same way. go down here, drag, drop, or right click, change picture from this device, is from this computer or from stock images. Same thing applies to both of this. Slide number 7 is the same as slide number 6. Only thing is the picture isn't square. Slide number 8 is again the same. I've just added different variations so you have more choice. Slide number 9 is interesting. It's not a picture, rather it's a video. So let's say for now there is nothing, right? So all you have to do is, let's say you have a specific video, and in this case I have one already in my desktop, and that's this. Drag, drop, there you go, voila. So if you want to play full screen slideshow mode, and then click on the right and it will start playing. Escape, it stops playing. Escape once again, you go back, and that's about it. If you want to preview, you could do that, or you could just hover your mouse around this and click to play. So moving on to the next slide. This is an animated slide, something like a speedometer. The text is simple. Click here for the text, click here for the heading. Fairly self-explanatory. Where the animation comes is I do full screen presentation mode, and that's the animation. If you don't want the animation, all you need to do is go to animations, go to animation pane, and then click on this animation and do remove, right? So now you go full screen, there's no animation. However, let's say you don't want animation, but you want this to point in a specific direction, right? So all you do is just scroll down a bit, you get this handle over here and gently rotate. So in this case, I want it here, and then you go back, then full screen, there you go. As simple as that. I'm going to get back my animations. Control Z, there you go. Let's look at it one more time. The animations are done in such a way that it doesn't take away from the text you're trying to explain. So it's fairly subtle animation. So moving to the next slide. Slide number 11 is a fairly simple slide. Add your text here. And so a quick note about icons. So wherever you found icons, right? So example, in this slide and this slide, all you have to do is click on the icon, not the whole thing. Make sure the icon is selected. I'm just going to do right click. I'm going to go to change graphic. Then I'm going to do from icon. So it's going to open up the icon window here. I'm just going to select one icon. In this case, I'm just going to select the aircraft and insert. Right, so that's how it is. Let's just do it one more time. Let's just use this. Just make sure the icon is selected. Right click, change graphic, from icons, and you just do, let's say we want balloons, and we just add the balloons, right? So moving on to the next slide. Same thing, text. This slide is going to represent something like a milestone, or what are the next steps. Icon is the same way. Make sure it's selected and right click, change graphic from icons, as we just showed in the previous slide. Same thing, icon with text. You know how to change the icon by now. Slide number 14 is similar. If you want to change the icon, click on the icon, right click, change graphic from icons. Slide number 15 is meant to show a profit and loss a breakdown. So for example, we have three components, that is sales or revenue, costs or expenses, and your profit. So sales minus expenses is profit. This is if you want to break down the sales, this is what you do. If you want to break down expenses and break down profits, this is what you do. So breakdown of a profit will be something like, let's say a profit margin or an operating margin or anything like that. If you want to have a tax rate, you can just add it here. Um, so obviously this is animated. Let me just go and show you the animation quickly. Go here and I go right click or single click and you get these. If you don't want the animation, all you have to do is, let me just close it so I can show it to you again. Go to animations, go to animation pane over here, and this is the animation. All you have to do is click here, click on this area, do Control A and delete. Right, so now if you go, there you go, no more animations. So I'm just going to get it back. You can also do Control A and then click here and then remove, right? Or if you don't want a specific animation, all you have to do is click on this. So this table 8 is for this is for this is for this. So if you don't want a specific animation, just make sure you remove it. Going to slide 16, this is also an animated slide. If I do full screen, it's meant to show a clock, something about something like a 24-hour surveillance. Again, I've tried to keep this animation subtle so that it doesn't take away from the content that you're trying to explain. If you don't want these animations, all you have to do is go to animations, go to animation pane, click, control click, and then delete, right? So now you go full screen, no more animations, right? One more thing, let's just get back to animations before I go further. Yeah, so if you want to change this 0 1, if you want to change these numbers and add an icon, all you have to do is go to insert, go to icons, let's say select this, insert, right? Now it comes here. All you have to do is go graphics, put whichever color you want. Let's just say you want yellow, just go here and then just insert it over here, right? Just keep it. So that's how you add an icon if you want. For now, I've kept it as numbers. Slide number 16. Sorry, slide number 17. This is an editable graph. All you have to do is click on this, right click, go to edit data, right, and then let's just enlarge this just a bit. So as you see, we have 4 states. All I'm going to do is just to demonstrate, I am going to add Washington, and I'm going to do 30,000 and then 20,000, right? So right away, although make sure this whole area is enclosed by this specific thing. So right away, as you see, it has added Washington. Suppose you still want Washington on your chart, but you don't want to show that in the graph. All you need to do is make sure Washington is not selected. So as you see, you can use this arrows, just move this arrow on top. As you see now, Washington is not selected, and then the graph should change. Same way, let's say we don't want Florida, just do that, and we just have these 3. So that's how you change this graphic. Moving on to slide 18. Again, this is a similar chart. It's a pie chart, and this is editable as well. Right click, go to edit data, and it should open up something like an Excel here. It's called a chart. So in this case, all I've done is right now the graphic is the pie chart is meant to show percentages. Generally, pie chart is a good representation if you want to show anything in percentages, right? So all this sum up to 100, as you see, 40, 30, 20, and 10. Let me just quickly go and change California to 50. So in this case, what's going to happen is, although you've changed it to 50 here, it still shows 46. That's because this sums up to 50 plus 30 is 80, 90, 100, and 10. So it's 110. So 50 is 46% of 110. So all you have to do is, every time, if you want to show this in percentages, just make sure the whole sum adds up to 100. So since we have 50 here, we'll just do 20 here, and now California should be showing 50%. So that's how it is. Make sure it sums up to 50%. Sorry, 100%. So let's just go back. Let's just do 30, and let's add another 20 here. There you go. So that's how you change this pie chart. Fairly simple. Moving on to slide number 19. This is fairly self-explanatory. At the headline here, at the body here, if you want to change an icon, make sure you click so that the icon is selected. So in this case, as you see, the outside is selected, but just go here and click the icon, right click, change graphic. So this is a better way to add an icon here, because let's say you want to add an icon. So you have to go to insert, do icons, and then let's say you want to add this apple, right? And then you add apple, and then let's say I don't want this icon for now, and then you have to drag this apple here, basically resize it, and then fill in the white. So it's a lot of work. So just instead of that, sorry, going back, Control Z. Instead of that, just go make sure the icon is highlighted, right click, change graphic from icon. It's going to put the new icon in the same formatting, same color and everything, same position and everything. Moving on quickly to slide number 20. This is an animated slide. I have to note that if you want it to look like this, and if you don't want the animation, you're still good. But this slide is not of that benefit if you don't use this animation. So let me show you how the animations work. So as you see, it's 25, 50, 75, 33%. So let's say you want to change. Let's say I want to make this 25. A quick math before I do it. So in this case, let me enlarge the slideshow mode. Okay. As you see, in this case, 50% is half of it. So let's call this 180 degrees, right? So if 180 degrees is 100%, 50% would be 90 degrees, 25% would be 45 degrees, right? So all you have to do is, if you want to change this, is click on this. First go to animations and go to animation pane, and that will open up the animation pane. So click on the animation you want, and it's going to highlight the corresponding animation line here. Then go here, go to effect options, go to effect, go to amount, and click on the drop down here. So as you see, it's at 45. So essentially, if 100% is 180 degrees, 25% will be 45 degrees. All you have to do is multiply your percentage by 1.8 to get the degrees. So if you want 50%, all you have to do is multiply 50 by 1.8 and you get 90 degrees. So that's how it is. So let's say I want to change this 25 to 50%, right? So as per the math, 50% is multiplied by 1.8, that is 90. So you just add 90 degrees here and then hit enter. Okay. And it's showing you the animation. Also make sure you change 50% over here. Okay. So this is how you change the animation. Let's go check it once again. There you go. You can also do this. You can also go to effect options, amount. If you do half a spin and do OK, it's going to do 1/2 of a spin, and that would represent 100%. go back to effect options and do a quarter spin, and then a quarter spin would show you 50%. So you either do a 90 degrees or a quarter spin if you want 50%. I would say stick to the degrees, so it's just easier. Let's just do one thing. Let's just remove the animation on this one. So you do Control A and you delete the animation. And if you're and that's just this is how it's going to look. If you want to use the slide this way, great, but you won't have the animations. The slide is purely designed for animations. I'm just going to do Control Z undo so I get the animations back. Quickly moving on to slide 21. This slide indicates polling, a polling study or a percentage completion or something like that. So let's just give an example. 50% of women, 70% of women want to buy a specific type of product. 55% of men uh, choose to stay at home on the weekends or something like that. So uh, now how do you make sure you indicate the 70%? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, right? I'm just going to just keep it to home so animation doesn't show up. Just going to click here, right click. All I'm going to do is go to format shape, go to fill, and I want to select gradient fill. So I'm going to, so right now it's already in gradient fill. Just go scroll down. So can you see gradient stops? So if your PowerPoint has multiple gradient stops, make sure there are only two. The way you can remove multiple gradient stops is by clicking on this X. If you want to add another gradient stop, you do plus, but that's not how you that's for a different topic. But right now, all you have to know is you need to have two gradient stops. Right now, my first gradient stop is at 70%. Now let me say I want to make this graphic 50%, right? So go back, I'll click 50, right? I'll click 50 and I'll give enter. And I click on the second gradient stop, it's at 70, and that I'll also make it 50. So as you see, it's at 50%. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are shaded, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are unshaded. So it displays 50%. Let's just go full screen and let's see how it looks. And that's how it looks. So now if you want to change, so one more thing is just make sure the direction is this. That is, it's shading from the left. It's called linear right. If you want it to come from the right side, all you have to do is do this and see how it's shifted. But I will keep it at this right now. So make sure you ensure that is set. And if you want to change your color, just make sure you change it. So you want black, make sure you change it to black. And that's how it is. Same thing with this, and this. Moving on to the next slide. Make sure you also update the percentages here. Don't forget that. Same thing about customer rating. Just click here, right click, go to format shape, and you will find the same thing. Only difference here is in the previous slide it was percentage, right? And this slide it is star rating. So you have to do a bit of math here. So 5 stars would be 100%, right? So let's say right now this is a 4.5 stars. So 5 stars would be 100%, which means 4 stars would be 80%. So if I want to make this 5, I want to make this 4.5 as 4. First, let me go and update it to 4, and then I'm going to click on this. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click on the first gradient stop, update this to 80, enter. Go click the second gradient stop, update this to 80, and enter. So right now we have 4 stars, right? So it's the same. Just make sure, again, just like the previous slide, make sure you have just 2 gradient stops when you make these edits, and also make sure both the gradients are set to the same percentage. So let's say we wanted to have 3 stars, right? So I'm just going to click here. Click here. So 3 stars would be 3 times 20. So if 100% is 5 stars, that means it's 5 times 20. So 3 times 20 would be 60%, right? So if you want 3 stars, just do 3 times 20, 60%, and then click on the second stop, change it to 60%, and then enter. Right, so you should have 3 stars there, and make sure you update this to 3 stars. Right, and go to slide number 23 next. It's the same thing as you've seen image. I've put a placeholder here, so all you need to do is just go here, drag and drop, right, and just make sure you adjust this the way you want, and that's it. Going to slide number 24, this indicates a checklist. All this is basically 2 icons. Let's say you want to change the icon here, click on this icon, right click, change graphic from icon. But if you want to change this, all you have to do is click on this, right click, change graphic from icons. Now instead of the tick mark, you want this, then you do insert, and there you go, it's just changed. So that's how you do it. If it's hard for you to do it, just copy another one and change the icon on this. Slide number 25 is, you know how to change the icons by now. This is a graph that shows a percentage. Let's say you want to say the plant is at 60% operational capacity, right? So all you do is right click, edit data, go up. So I'm just going to just delete this, and I'm just going to delete this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to say enter percentage here, so it's easier for you, right? So all you have to do is make sure you hit whatever percentage you want, and make sure these two sum up to 100%, because this is essentially a pie chart, something like a pie chart or a donut chart. So let's say you want to change this to 30, right? To 30, and make sure this is 70, right? And then you go here, you click, and as you see, this is 30. Just make sure you update the 30 here. So there you go, that's how it is. Only thing here is just make sure that these two numbers add to 100. This will be the number that you want to display, that is the one in red. So if this is, let's say, 80, right, make sure this is 20, right, and then you click outside, there you go, and then just enter 80 over here, right? So quickly moving on to the next slide. The next slide is fairly self-explanatory. It's a milestone slide. If you want to change the graphic, right click and then change graphic from icon. This is a fairly straightforward slide. Percentage editable graphs are just like this graph. All you have to do is enter the percentage that you want and make sure it adds up to 100. This is the same as slide number 21. All you have to do is make sure you shade. Let's just recap it one more time. That's how it looks. Just go here. Now, obviously, the whole thing gets selected, but make sure your graphic is selected. There you go. Just keep clicking until your graphic is selected. Then right click, format shape. Obviously, go to gradient fill, scroll down. In this case, it's 25. Let's say we want to make this 50. So just click here, make this 50, enter, make this 50 as well, 50, enter, right, and then Just make sure you update it to 50 over here. There you go. That's how it is. Same thing with this. Just make sure you keep clicking until you get this, and this is what you need to change. In this case, it's straightforward since this whole thing represents 100. This is a percentage. You just need to put your percentages here, unlike the star that you saw earlier. Close. Going back to slide number 30. This is the same as the editable graph as was here. Just make sure if you want to go and edit, just go right click and then just to edit data, and you will find here. So one specific thing I wanted to show you here was, see, we have a series 3 right here, but that's not being shown in the graph. That's because this is the area of the graph and it does not contain series 3. If you want series 3, all you need to do is click here and drag and make sure series 3 is there. So as you see, you can add series 3, right? Only thing you need to do is just go check. So this is 16 and bold. All you need to do is go here, click, and then just do 16 and bold, and that's how you get series 3, right? Let's just go back. Let's just go to edit data and let's just, so this is specifically if you want to enter something but you just don't want to show it in the graph, you can just do it like this. So let's keep it like this for now. Next slide is product category. Basically this is again drag and drop. All you have to do is drag and drop it here. Same thing over here, drag and drop. Same thing as just drag and drop, and maybe do a bit of arranging if your picture is formatted different, right? So go back. One more thing I want to mention is when you get the slides, these images may not be available, but these images are not my images. These are just taken from stock images, right? So all these images, you will find them in stock. So you can see the buttons here. The last slide is Milestone. This is an animated slide. Let's just check the animation first. A slideshow, right click, add your headline, introductory headline, milestone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a concluding headline, right? Again, if you don't want animations, go to animations here, go to animation pane here, click here, do Control A, select all, delete, or just hit remove. Now there you go, no more animations, right? I'm going to bring back my animations for now. Again, if you delete something, let's say you delete this, it's going to delete the corresponding animation, right? So there you go. So just feel free to delete. I'm just going to bring it back, delete whichever you want, and rearrange, as long as you don't create new and just rearrange this and change the icons by doing change graphic from icons, you won't lose the animation. And remember, you have to click each time you want something to show up. You have to click. So headline shows up, click. 2000 shows up, click. 2005. So you have to either right click or click on your mouse. So that sums up this quick tutorial on how to use master red and white template. I hope this has benefited you, and all the best on your PowerPoint journey. Have a good day.